And welcome to another episode of Dos Damn Cincos. This is episode number 55. This week, as part of That's What I Call Cinco's comedy, we cover the movie The Naked Gun, as well as Street Sharks, Season 3, Episode 19. But before we get into that, as always, I'm your host, David.
I don't like this intro. I'm Stuart.
I'm
Stuart. Stuart, I don't like this intro, Yang.
Why? It was too smooth?
No, it was too many words too quickly. And for some reason, you're like super loud.
I don't know. Maybe. Sounds okay to me.
Yeah, it looks okay to me.
Really? Yeah, I mean, you're like, these peaks are like pretty high.
Your peaks are pretty low, Stu.
Yeah, except my audio comes out immaculate.
He's got a point there.
That's true.
I'm playing both sides.
Ben's literally you sound fine, but yours is better. But wait, what? Pick a side, Ben.
What was he saying? I was like, I'm playing both sides.
Both sides. So I always come out on top. I play both sides.
You don't tell one side that you're playing both sides.
Yeah, I'm telling you both. I'm playing both sides.
All right, so outside of the movie of the week and Street Sharks, Stu, what else did you see?
Let's see. What did I watch?
Riveting.
Are you looking for somebody to give you a cue card?
Let me tell you. No, I'm sucking up. I'm sucking up airtime.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you all the things.
Welcome to our 3.5 hour special
that I have watched. I know I've watched some stuff, but for some reason it's well, okay. So I finished the first season of Dark finally. So it was like, oh, okay. Now it's they're starting to have stuff happen. I still don't quite know what's going on, what the whole thing is, but I guess that's what season 2 and 3 are gonna be for.
Yep.
So yeah, there was that.
Nice.
And then I think the only other movie I can recall that I had watched of note was Hotel Artemis.
Oh, you actually went to go see that?
Well, I didn't go to see it, obviously, Ben.
You went to the couch to see it.
Yeah, I went to, essentially, yes.
How was that? I was kind of wanting to go see it, but it didn't seem like anyone was really interested in seeing it at the time, so it's just like, all right.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. There's some unsuspected castings in it, which was enjoyable. So yeah, I'd say if you're looking for something to watch, you can check that one out. It's free on Amazon Prime.
So did Charlie Day carry the movie on his shoulders?
Absolutely.
On his skinny ass shoulders?
Yep, he absolutely did. I feel like there's other stuff I watched, but I can't remember. So
that's okay. If it comes to you, you can always interrupt Ben. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll be okay with it. What about you, Ben? Did you see anything else?
No. Maybe you should respect my talking time. I have a dedicated, allotted amount of time on the podcast.
Oh, I remember what it is now.
But, hey,
okay.
Wait, guys.
Thanks, Ben.
Wait.
Go ahead, Stu.
I don't remember.
Oh, see, Ben, you made him forget again. Ben apologized to Stu.
Okay, now I remember.
Okay.
Wait, do you actually remember now, or are you just...
It's okay. I muted him. Go ahead, Stu.
I didn't remember. No, I'm kidding. I did remember.
I actually did mute Ben, so we don't know what Ben was talking about.
Well, okay. So this is the other thing I watched, and I wanted to interject so I can steal Ben's thunder. I started watching The Boys.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I mean, not for the first time. I'm watching season 2.
Yeah.
Oh man. So remembering, actually, it felt like it was so long ago. I had to go back to watch the last episode of season 1. And I was like, okay, now I know what's going on. And then season 2 starts. Wow. I didn't think it could get any more gorier, and it does, or any more entertaining, and it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I felt about it.
That's I'm still waiting for an explanation as to something that happened exactly at the end of season 1. But I don't feel like it's been revealed yet. But I don't want us to do any spoilers. So
they released 3 episodes, correct? And they're going to release another one every Friday.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Stu, but overall, how far have you gotten? Have you gotten all three in?
I've watched them all.
Okay, so with the small sample size that is season 2, thumbs up, thumbs down, or
thumbs up so far.
Okay, what about you, Ben?
I'm only one episode in, so no spoilers on the other two.
All right. So what happens in season 3 or episode 3?
Go on.
Butcher gets killed.
What? All right, this is 5incos. This is now 1.5 Adios, assholes. I'm
gonna go watch the other 2 episodes to prove you wrong.
Okay,
I think I hear him leaving. He just left the room.
Oh, good. All right, so we're gonna.
All right, now we can get down to the real stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you watch?
All right, I'm back. All right, here we go. Okay. I decided to forgive you all, even though you took away the only thing that is worth living for, and that is Carl Urban. But
now you know how I feel when stuff like, well, I'm sure you felt the same with like Last of Us 2 or Game of Thrones or anything like that.
So, Ben, what else did you see besides Street Sharks and The Naked Gun?
I did actually go and watch the new Bill and Ted that came out. Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Where did you go?
Well, I mean, to my couch to watch it.
Is that what we're saying now in 2020?
Yeah,
that's
what we're saying. That's the saying.
I went to the movies, aka sat on the couch.
Ben, take the food out of your mouth.
No, I can put whatever I want in my mouth. It's my mouth, my choice. Anyways,
is he taking pills?
Yes, I'm taking your pills. I'm taking all the pills. I'm taking your Mucinex. I'm taking your multivitamins, whatever it is.
Your Metamucil.
Bill and Ted Face the Music. And, well, I don't want to spoil anything about it, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But I also started on the Avengers game, the new game that just came out last.
Oh, so you're actually playing it?
Yeah, I played it on stream. And I've been playing this past week, and holy shit. I have played a lot of early access games, and this game is by far the buggiest thing I have ever played in my life.
Wait, I thought it's not even early access. I thought this was a full release.
Yeah.
I played the beta and it was pretty bad. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to buy this just yet. I'll let somebody else buy it. Thanks for buying it, Ben.
Yeah, so I've been playing with Bowie and some other people over the weekend. And Bowie, there's a campaign mode and there's multiplayer mode, where campaign mode is usually just one player. And he got to this part where the task was to talk to someone, but they never spawned in. And now his game's just soft locked like that, so he can't do anything.
Buy a new copy because you have to start all over, and you can't just reinstall it. It's only one instance per account. Sorry.
It's pretty bad, man. Not only that, but man, the frame rate goes to shit real fast.
That's unfortunate. Who you?
No, it's real unfortunate. Yeah, like I want to say that if you find a video online or of someone encountering a bug, that it's one of those rare occurrences. It's like, this is kind of funny, but no, it fucking happens all the fucking time. In the last level, of the campaign, there's a portion where you have to like trigger these little switches, and then you have to activates this drawbridge or whatever, and you go across it. So I do that, right? And I encounter some more enemies and shit, and I'm pretty far in the level. Apparently, during that whole activating the switch sequence, there was supposed to be a cutscene that never triggered, right? So I'm like pretty far into the level, and then the cutscene decides to trigger, and my character goes flying all the way the fuck back to the beginning of the level.
Wow.
And the worst part is that's not the worst glitch I've ever encountered in the game.
And then it opened Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
I wish. I do have that. I'm waiting until we can play it. Maybe this Thursday. That'll be the game or something, because I really want to play the warehouse, get all the decks and shit, all the secret tapes.
I hope
collect SKATE.
I really hope someone or releases something about that game that says, hey, all the music that's in the game. It's no DCMA. Like that would be great.
Superman by Goldfinger can't be DCMA'd, right?
I don't.
Right?
I don't know. It should be.
Right?
It should be public domain at this point. I feel like.
Yeah,
Did you
just
guys buy it on Steam or on PlayStation?
I don't
it's
think
not
it's
on Steam, is it?
Oh, is it not?
It's
Oh, it's
not
only
think
on
so.
PC, is it?
PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on PC. Yeah,
Is it?
It is?
yeah. You can go on their website.
I'm gonna fact check you right now.
Yeah,
Fact
do
check
live
me.
fast checks.
Okay, he's right. Microsoft Windows.
Boom.
Oh, wait, it's a Microsoft Windows game?
Oh, is
Is
that
it a
it?
Windows game? God damn it!
Boo.
Windows
Boo.
Store.
We're never going to
Maybe
play
it's
it.
maybe it's part of the Game Pass.
Boo. Well, it's on Steam. Boo.
Yeah. Who earns?
Okay, well, anyways, I say we put that for this Thursday. But yeah, so I would say that if you want to play Avengers, I would wait like a few months
Or a year.
or a year, because shit's real rough. Although, under that, there is a pretty enjoyable game when it works, but at other times it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm curious how the multiplayer part works. It's supposed to be like a MOBA, right?
No, not like a MOBA. It's like a third-person action game,
But I mean, like
Mhm.
in a MOBA like context.
No, it's
No?
more like Spider-Man, like just like an action adventure game.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
That's not answering my question about the multiplayer.
Oh, for what?
No. Well, I mean, like, it's like Destiny, without the PvP
Oh,
part,
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
that answers the question. Why did I think that someone said it was a MOBA?
No idea. Maybe they'll turn it into a MOBA eventually. I don't know.
No, they'll just turn it into a battle royale game because that's what everything's going towards now.
Could be. I don't know. But yeah, wait. I would say wait on it. Wait for it to go down in price. Just fucking wait.
Yeah, but so that's the review for Avengers. But I wanted to know, Bill and Ted, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty good. It's not my favorite of all
Like,
three movies.
He thinks it sucked.
No, it's still pretty good. It's just definitely the rank.
See how his voice goes up in that.
And also there was that significant pause.
Did you just say significant?
Sick. So sick.
Significant.
Yeah.
Sick.
Significant.
Yeah, it's
We can't salvage. Sorry, give us a rating, Ben, out of 10.
out of 10, I would say it'd have to be like a 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah, so a light 7. I'm feeling a light 7 on this.
Stewie's really like backpedaling here. Okay. All right. Anything else, Ben?
Don't spoil the boys for me.
I already did.
Shut
All
up.
right, Stu already mentioned something, and he said it very confidently. So it's got to be true, Ben. Is it even worth for you to explore?
Carl Urban doesn't have any future projects coming up, so I'm pretty sure he's still alive, right? Right?
It's still good. It's still good.
He's still good.
You die later. Later. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll just jump into our Street Sharks episode for this week. Is season 3 is episode 19. This one is 20,000 Leagues Under the Shark or something.
Nope. 20,000 sharks under the sea.
There we go. 20,000 sharks under the sea. In this episode, a 4-headed hydra is spotted and destroys a science vessel. And President Horn can only call the 4 sharks that he could always trust to be able to solve this one. That's it. What?
Orf.
Okay. All right. That is our version of crickets. Is Ben's dogs in the
Ben's
background.
dogs don't like it.
No.
I'm sorry that they didn't give me very much to go off of. There was no montage this week, and the story didn't have anything to do with the main plot point outside of we got to see El Sordo again and the 4 street sharks, and then Jab had a pretty good joke at the end.
I gotta say, if I was an enlisted man serving in the Navy, and our entertainment was El Sordo. I would
Doing Fruit Ninja.
basically doing Fruit Ninja. I'd be I'd be questioning reasons as to why I'm serving my country. I'd be like,
And why
what's
that thing isn't just doing your job for you.
no? I'd be like, this is what I get for serving my country. I get to watch this fucking Joker cut fruit with swords. Swords, by the way, which aren't even like the cutting type of swords. Those are like the poking types of swords. So
Like, good. That's a good assessment by our gun expert on different types of swords.
hey,
we got
not
hey,
other kind.
hey,
It's the poking kind.
hey. I think you answered this question already, but is a gun a sword?
What?
No.
What about,
Okay,
what,
thank
It's
you.
a type of arm.
what about one with the bayonet?
That is not a sword nor a
Poking
gun.
kind.
It's a pokey kind, yeah.
Bayonet can also be a slashing kind, though.
It, and aren't bullets just really tiny swords that you
Little
launch
swords.
into people?
So he's not really El Sordo. He's more El Poco.
No, because bullets don't have blades on them.
Blades.
But bullets do pierce the same way that swords do.
Swords are not guns.
If I throw a sword,
I thought that pause was confirmation. I was like this close. I was like, Ben, did we get him?
no, we got him. We got.
No,
See,
no,
if I
you
could
did
throw
not.
my sword fast enough, it becomes a bullet, and I become a gun. Fine, I'll take some gunpowder and then throw it really fast. Will that make you happy?
Which, in the state of California, would make you an unlicensed firearm, making you a felon.
Yeah, welcome to the gun show, Stuart.
I'm contacting the DOJ right now to give them your address. Illegal possession of firearm.
We're gonna have to confiscate your sword and your gunpowder, Ben. All right. Any thoughts on this episode, guys? Outside of the relationship turn that this one had, it was fairly odd.
Tinder for sea monsters.
Yeah, you said what was it? Sea monster personal ads, and then Jab even chuckles afterwards. I was like, man, that's
pretty good. That was pretty good. I gotta say, I've suspended my disbelief throughout watching this show quite a bit, even throughout this episode. But the one thing I couldn't suspend my disbelief on was that their tiny little rocket ship, single man rocket flyer ship, being able to carry the probably multiple, 1,000-ton sea monster like it was nothing. I couldn't
technology. That's it.
I just can't.
Technology. Suspend your belief as the sea monster was suspended in air.
I'm pulling a Darren right now. I can suspend my disbelief for everything else, but that was a bridge too far.
What about the time traveling?
That's fine.
Will you draw the line on suspension?
Hey, didn't I just say I'm pulling a Darren?
He did. He did say that.
I acknowledged it, therefore it makes it okay.
All right, fine. What about you, Ben? Any thoughts on this one?
They literally could have had their own personal Godzilla, and then they give it up. They had their own fucking four-headed monster thing that they could call at any time. It could have been their Megazord or some shit. And that would have sent it over the edge and into stardom. But no.
Well, there's only 9 more episodes after this one, so do you guys think we'll see this Hydra show up again?
Nah, it didn't have a voice actor to it, so probably not. Which is a missed opportunity. That would have been, like Ben said, that would have been an awesome extra character to have on the side.
So out of all of these extraneous characters that we've met, which one has been your guys' favorite, since we're pretty much getting very close to wrapping this one up?
The Free Willy one. But what's his name?
It's not Shamu. It's Moby Lick.
Moby Lick, that's right.
Moby Lick.
Is it because of the name or or just how he is?
I don't know. I think it was just because it was the black guy who they turned into the orca whale.
Comic relief. What about you, Ben?
It would have to be their dad, obviously.
The one you've never seen outside of the first episode?
Yeah, it reminds me of my father and how I never met him.
I would unpack this, but we have so much more stuff to talk about.
More important stuff.
Yes, we do. For me, it would be...
No one asked. Okay,
I
moving on.
figured. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to our box office rundown. Apparently, only 7 movies this weekend registered any money. That would be Tenet, The New Mutants, Unhinged, Bill and Ted Face the Music, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, The Personal History of David Copperfield, and Words on Bathroom Walls. Tenet broke into the number 1 spot this week with $20.2 million. Obviously, much lower than their actual budget on this one. But apparently, international and worldwide, it's already opened to $146 million. So, yeah. That was in order 1 through 7. That's all I got, guys. Any thoughts?
Fascinating.
Riveting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still under pretty severe quarantine here
How
in
are we
LA.
supposed to watch Tenet? Everyone else gets to watch Tenet. How
2,800 theaters have it. New Mutants in 2,700 theaters. I don't know where those are located, but definitely not here.
Thank you for the non-helpful information then.
How are you supposed to watch it? I don't know.
In the 2,800 theaters that I don't know where they are. Okay.
Oh, wait. There was one article I did read. There was a guy, he had to drive 3.5 hours up to... Oh, crap. Somewhere at Montecito or something. I don't know. He drove from like San Diego, and he went to go see Tenet. And then he said it was... he explained it was like James Bond, but on steroids or something.
James Bond and... what's that movie? Inception and Back to the Future.
And Dark Knight all put together.
All in one.
So just any Pierce Brosnan James Bond.
Yeah. Like the one where he gets a bullet, and not him, but the bad guy is shot in the head, but it makes him stronger.
And wasn't there one where he was like in a fighter jet and he had to get someone else in a fighter jet so he ejected so he can punch him or some shit?
No.
Was that a thing?
I think so.
I think you're thinking of Hot Shots.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking of Charlie Sheen.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Sheen and... Oh, my gosh. Well, all I will say is right now the box office is showing $146 million, but their budget was $200 million. So if it stops here, they lose quite a bit of money. But it looks like they're going to continue to gather some momentum on this one. So we'll have to see how that looks next week. And as we get closer and closer to the end of the year, it looks like there will be a vaccine for the COVID-19 or coronavirus sometime in November or even October. But we don't, if those haven't been confirmed just yet, but people keep saying that, oh, we should prepare for it and stuff like that. So I don't know where they are with the trials. This is not a news outlet. I don't have any news. I'm just repeating what I've heard.
Dr. Chen.
You're welcome.
Paging Dr. Chen.
That would be my brother and my dad, not me. You can ask them for advice. I won't give you guys any. So I know that Mulan opened last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's available for $30. I believe Bill and Ted Face the Music's is $20.
$25.
$25. Okay, so yeah, I got nothing else.
Did anyone watch Mulan?
No, I don't support the Chinese government.
It's true.
Or the mouse, apparently.
I've been hearing some really shady shit about that movie. So,
what have you heard, Stu?
Well, number of things. I think the one I just heard today not that I want to get super heavy into this because this is
The
like
gang gets political. Here we go.
this isn't really our forte. I don't know if we should be delving into this, David.
Stu, it is so light on the box office rundown. We'll take anything. Go ahead.
Okay, so someone was saying that the intro credits, or I don't know if it's intro credits or some part of the credits, is thanking like all these different organizations in the Chinese government.
Oh.
One of which happens to be responsible for administering or something, whatever that means. Some supposed concentration camps that are happening right now. I don't want to talk about this.
Ooh.
Yeah, yes, let's talk about that.
No,
Stu.
David, please.
Concentration camps.
Okay, fine. How about this? I have heard, since we are talking about some of the things that are around this movie, I do know that the star of the show who plays Mulan, whatever her name is, I can't remember. Something Chinese.
David Chen.
No, she was criticized for supporting the police movement in Hong Kong during the protests.
Yep.
So that was one thing that was circulating around this movie. So I think that's part of the reason why Ben was like kind of hoping that this thing would bomb, because he is such a political activist, right, Ben?
Totally.
So Ben, tell us about these concentration camps that Stu is alluding to.
Well, for my research on my armchair,
what I was looking at on InfoWars was that.
So yeah, I'm not 100% sure about what was happening around this movie, but clearly it's going to be very interesting to see how
it's brilliant.
Brilliant to our great leaders in China.
I will say that, without getting too political, I was already pretty against this movie when they announced it, just because of how it would kind of affect movies going forward. And I'm really glad that there's actually a lot of media going around kind of covering this topic now. How movies are preemptively kind of censoring themselves so that they can get into the Chinese market. Like,
yeah,
China
I think that's I guess the bigger point of my point.
Yeah.
Oh, to be able to gain more box office numbers, they're doing more things.
They're pandering to foreign governments, basically, to make
pandering to the Mandarin.
Huh?
Yeah, pandering to the Mandarin.
Pandering to the Mandarin people.
Let's get that hashtag going.
All right, we're gonna write that. Pandering. I can't even.
I think that's the title of this episode, boys.
Pandering to the Mandarin. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, There's definitely been a lot of.
How you spell it?
Wait, what do you mean you know how to spell it?
I can't spell Panderin. Panderin?
Okay. Oh, I thought you were going to say Mandarin. Okay.
No, I know how to spell that. All right. But yeah, okay. I was wondering. I was like, Ben, what are you talking about? They had to release this straight to streaming only due to the fact that there was COVID. I didn't know that's what you were talking about. Is that because they want to be able to break into that market, that sweet, delicious 1.6 billion people market.
Okay, so here's something I can kind of touch on that I guess is a little bit lighter, but is also related to it.
No Eddie Murphy. About.
Yeah, essentially is the reason why they removed Mushu is because apparently it's supposed to be Chinese people consider Dragon to be very respectful and blah blah blah, but it's like everyone loved Mushu in the original. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was like hit her conscious, kind of like Timon and Pumbaa were for for Simba.
Sure, but yeah, that was the reason that annoyed me about Disney's decision to remove Mushu.
And also, unfortunately, because he was also played by a black man, which kind of sucks.
There's that too. That's that aspect also. But if anyone's surprised right now that like in the Asian countries aren't as open to having black actors and actresses in movies,
Nope,
They
it's just China.
well, China. Then they obviously don't really know too many Asian people.
Yep,
So
it is. It's not
that's
good.
not
Like,
that's not news to me. I'm sure it wasn't news to David.
What? What?
Oh, okay,
What?
David. Sure.
What are you talking about, Ben? Come on, you must be surprised.
David, I just fucking watched Good Burger.
All right, I think we've done enough pandering
Yeah,
to the Mandarin,
we spent enough time on this.
or pandering against the Mandarin. I don't know, whatever. All right, let's just go ahead and we'll jump over to our movie of the week this week. As part of That's What I Call 5incos comedy, I chose The Naked Gun. What is it? From the Files of
Police Squad.
Police Squad.
That's the full title. After returning from his trip from Beirut, where he stopped an international organization of terrorists, Lieutenant Frank Drebin of Police Squad is called upon to clear the name of his longtime partner Norberg, all while uncovering and attempting to foil the assassination attempt of the Queen of England. Here we go. So,
I like mine better. Mine are
what
more
was yours?
fun.
Go ahead.
I didn't have one, but I never have one. Like I make
Stu,
them up.
hit it.
I make them up every time. I'm like, it's
You know what?
like jazz.
Maybe in the style of Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Go ahead, Stu.
No, it's okay. I just like to criticize you.
That's fair. That's usually
Hey,
that's usually what I open myself up to. That's why I started preparing something.
So I'll just say this: I have a synopsis on the leaderboards. Ben has a synopsis on the leaderboards. I'm still waiting for your synopsis to be on the leaderboards.
What leaderboard?
Wow.
Of greatest.
He doesn't even know about leaderboard.
Yeah, he doesn't even know this guy.
When you guys are the only two ones who are allowed to vote, I'm never going to ever end up on the leaderboard. What do you guys?
Welcome to democracy.
It's never been a democracy.
Maybe do better than.
No, that's not the way this works. If you haven't noticed, in our democracy in the United States, there are such things as participation rewards. Why am I not on this one?
Just do better.
That's all I can say.
All right, soapbox over. All right, Stu, you were pretty excited when I mentioned that this was the movie I was picking for comedy. So what were your thoughts about that?
Well, I was excited primarily because you actually picked a comedy this time.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. And also just because the Naked Gun movies are just a good time. Everyone loves Naked Gun movies, and if they don't, they're communists.
And that's why they would never show this in China.
Yeah, Frank Drebin is outlawed in China. He's the enemy of the state.
Oh, Leslie Nielsen. All right, continue, Stu.
It's man's a national treasure.
R.I.P. baby.
R.I.P.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't know. I was just excited because this is it's a funny movie. The type of humor is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like you don't really see that anymore these days, where it's just like so deadpan, but there's also all these like goofs. There's all these like really silly goofs going on, like especially with like just Leslie Nielsen in general, with just how he delivers his performances, and then there's just all this goofy shit happening like in the background. So, or he just gets caught in all these really wacky scenarios. So, in fact, I think more recently, of all three of the Naked Gun movies, I had just recently discovered one of the funniest scenes, I think, to me, in all the episodes, and not all episodes, all the movies. But
that's also true. It is. They are episodes because Police Squad was a TV show, right? Or a miniseries.
Yes, that's correct.
Go ahead, Stu.
Well, but it was in the second one, so we can't really talk about that. But it's just indicative of what this movie is, and what it. I don't know if it seemed like it's kind of like springboarded a lot of other movies like this, kind of like Hot Shots that we just kind of touched on earlier. And I know there's other movies like that, but yeah, it was just a good time.
Good time was had by all.
Good time was had, yeah.
It sounds like Stu wants you to pick the Naked Gun too. Yeah, or that. That's a good choice.
I heard him.
Yeah. So Stu, what would you give as a rating for this one?
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Woo! Yeah, I think out of the three, this one was the best and most well received because I feel like it had built up this premise that literally you could just fill an entire movie full of gags, and um, I have such really fond memories about this one that made me like, even though it's been what 30 years now, I'm still laughing at every single one of those the entire movie through, and I was just like, man, I thought this was funny back then, and it's still funny now. I just yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know
But
people back then had senses of humor.
I feel like back then people had better senses of humor. Nowadays, everybody is.
That's true.
Let's not get into that. All right, Ben, what about you? Thoughts on this one?
Well, this is also one of the earliest movies I remember watching, and I think I watched it on like HBO or something.
Can I interrupt you really quick? How could you? When did you watch this? This has O.J. Simpson in it. Ben,
I don't think my parents, saw the very beginning of the movie or the very end.
it's fine. This guy's it's just Leslie Nielsen for the rest
But
of the movie.
I couldn't watch Naked Gun 2 or 3 though. Let me tell you. Now, this movie, like, no matter how many times I watch it, I'll always get a fucking laugh out of it. Like, Stu, weren't we playing like a board game at your place? And it was just randomly.
Yeah, we had him on in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, we pretty much stopped paying attention to what we were fucking doing and just ended up watching the movie. And like, I don't know, it's still really fucking good. I feel like all of us at that table, or when we were all playing board games there, I feel like all of us have watched it plenty of times, but we were all fucking glued to it. It's timeless. It's like part of that all-star team of movies. Like Airplane, Hot Shots, Top Secret, the earlier Scary movies, and it kind of sucks because there's like no more movies that kind of mimic the style of movie anymore. It's a comedy that relies on physical gags with like jokes zooming in or zooming by like a joke a second. It's and it was all carried on by by Leslie Nielsen. Rest in peace. And he did such an amazing job at it. Being able to switch from like complete dingus mode to straight face, hard boiled noir police officer. That's what I really liked about the comedy. It wasn't all those stupid physical gags. It was also that he was able to put on all these stupid silly faces, act like an ass, but also switch to completely straight faced. I'm completely serious. I'm not an idiot moment, even though he totally is. This is like one of the easiest 10 out of 10s of my life. It's like, come on, it's The Naked Gun. Come on.
Easily 10 out of 10 for this one. Honestly, actually, I was having a difficult time because I wanted to pick between Airplane and Naked Gun. It was really tough for me. So when I said The Naked Gun, Stu goes, all right, so we'll see you guys next. And I was like, still debating. I was like, what if I go? Which one is it actually going to be?
Do you want the soup or the salad?
Oh, why choose? It's the hardest decision at the Olive Garden. Do I go with the all you can eat?
Do you want Ernest goes to camp, or Ernest goes to the beach, or Ernest doesn't go to the beach?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So before we go ahead and we wrap up all this one, I just wanted to ask you guys. So, Stu, what was your favorite moment from this one? If you could, the first one that sticks out in your mind.
So the one that sticks out to me, which for some reason I only noticed like within the past few, probably 5 or 6 times I've watched this movie. I've probably seen this movie about 20 times. But one of the funniest, and even today when I was watching it, it always makes me laugh, is towards the beginning when he's having like the press conference about the Queen of England coming over, and he has his microphone. He goes to the bathroom and he still has his microphone, and obviously he's like peeing and it's making all kinds of noise. He's he's farting and all that stuff. And as funny as all that is, it's the part that makes me laugh the hardest. Is there's this one little part in there where he's like, you just hear him go, "Oops," as he's like, as the stream of of his peeing clearly is like hitting the toilet seat. part always makes me laugh. Just because like the detail to that gag, like there's all these other stupid things happening within that gag, and it's that additional little whoops.
What about you, Ben?
This has always been my favorite joke ever since the beginning, ever since I first watched this movie. It would have to be when Leslie Nielsen goes to visit O.J. Simpson in the hospital, and the doctor, or the surgeon at the time, is the doctor or surgeon? One of the two. He gets brainwashed into killing O.J. Simpson, and Leslie Nielsen tries to stop him. He goes into the room, and he's like, freeze, police. And the surgeon, he throws the pillow, and the joke setup is that it's just a distraction. It's supposed to get him away so he gets time to run away. But fucking Leslie Nielsen catches it and wraps around his face. And he's like, oh, I can't fucking breathe.
Like the tiny net.
Yeah, it's like the tiny net joke. Tiny net.
For me, I think my favorite it's kind of like the sequence when he gets to Angel Stadium and he becomes Enrico Palazzo, so he can sing the national anthem to try to get down there to see like who's there, and obviously sings it horribly, right? It's that entire sequence because he doesn't know some of the words, and then they don't realize who it really is. And then Enrico Palazzo is like hitting his head like on the couch. He's so mad that he's screwing up this song. The police officers are trying to be respectful to the anthem, and they're slowly walking and shuffling towards him while they're holding their hands over their hearts. And then he finishes the song and then runs off. And then as he's running off, he runs into one of the umpires and he asks him, "Oh, is this a legalized bat?" And he looks at him and he hits him over the head, right? And then it's just showing that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just ad-libbing the entire thing. And then he gets behind home plate, and then the manager comes over and tells him, it's like, "Hey, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna play baseball today?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, play ball." And then the next thing happens is the first pitch comes across and he's just staring. Everybody's looking at him. He's like, what is it? And then he yells strike, right? And then the entire stadium goes crazy, and then he starts celebrating with it. Like, that's my favorite, like maybe 10 minutes.
Really gets into the calling the strikes.
Oh yeah, and then he does the splits and
doing
then
dances, moonwalking.
Strike 3, and then does the moonwalk and then does the splits and then comes back up and then that is the scene that I don't know why, but that scene reminds me a lot of like some of the stuff that happened in Angels of the Outfield, and stuff that happened in Major League. But can you imagine if there was a Major League crossover with the Naked Gun and he happened to be the umpire in it? That would have been great. If it was Charlie Sheen pitching on the mound and he's like, "What are you?" And then he's just like, and then there's the ump sequence where he's like bumping chests with the other ump. And he's like, "The guy out there says he's out." And then he's like, "Oh man, it was so great."
Yeah.
The entire baseball scene was my favorite part. I watched that probably, even if I miss like the first portion of the entire movie, I'll stay just to watch the ending. That part with the baseball scene where they're at the Angel Stadium. So what other films have you guys seen that has kind of, that you could tell have borrowed some of the antics or some of the stuff from this particular like series or Leslie Nielsen's like type of comedy that he puts together that you guys really enjoyed?
I feel like we've mentioned a lot, but I was kind of wondering, and maybe Ben knows, has Leslie Nielsen ever done a movie where it wasn't like this, some type of,
Yeah, actually, I think earlier in his career, he was more hard-boiled and, more of the, straight-faced noir type.
Was he like in like 60s like crime movies or something? Because like the first time I've ever seen Leslie Nielsen was in Airplane, and that's in the 70s.
That's what I thought too. But my dad actually told me that he was in actually serious movies. So I don't know. Like, but I'm just going off what he said. I don't know, to be honest. I want to say that's why they got him for Airplane, because he was able to do that so well.
Right.
That was like one of the only comedies where he would like it was a complete shit show of a comedy, right? Where
Yeah.
everything is just like gag after gag after gag, but he was the only one in it that was completely straight faced.
Do you think it would change your guys' opinion? Like, how would you view the movie? Would you be able to take it seriously if you were to see like one of his like more dramatic roles, like prior to 1970? Because I think that's when the last one was. 1979 was the last like dramatic role before he started doing a lot of the comedies. Was a City on Fire, where he played a corrupted mayor. That's pretty much it. Before that, it was dramatic roles in a TV series called Golden Age in the 50s.
I think for us, probably because we grew up with him in his comedy phase, um, it would probably be weirder to go see him in something serious. Whereas people who probably came up with watching stuff back then, and then just to see him in something like Airplane or Naked Gun would probably be more jarred by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Any other thoughts on this one, guys?
In regards to what you said about like other forms of media that kind of copy the style of humor and comedy, it's it's kind of rare nowadays. I don't think there's anything recently that really captures the spirit of this. I mean, it kind of all died out with those movie genre movies, the like the scary movie, epic movie, disaster movie, date movie. Those movies kind of killed the whole genre.
Assholes.
I know,
Yeah.
and
The
it's
slapstick
that.
stuff.
Yeah, and it was that it tried to do something with it, but in the end, the comedy wasn't that great. The jokes weren't there. It was really random. It was really cheap, and it kind of sucked. It's really sad that we won't get anything else like this. However, I will say that there is a TV show out there, kind of recent. I think it's over now. That took inspiration from particularly Airplane and Naked Gun and tried to make a whole TV series out of it. And I really liked the first season, but season 2 rolled around and it kind of fell apart, which I was kind of disappointed about. If you guys want to check it out, it's called Angie Tribeca. It's starring Rashida Jones as the main.
Oh yeah, it was. It kind of was like under the same premises. It was the same writer as Monk, right?
I don't know who the writer was. I know that Steve Carell was the producer on it. So
I
he was the
remember
executive
it
producer.
was like on TNT or TBS or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was on TBS. Yeah. So that show definitely took a lot of inspiration from Airplane and Naked Gun, Top Secret, all those. And the first season was fucking great. I remember watching it. I'm like, damn, I can't wait for season 2. Season 2 rolled around. I don't know what happened, but it just fell real flat. But yeah, if you have time, check out season 1 of Angie Tribeca. Can't recommend that one enough.
Do you think the reason why it probably like fizzled out a little bit was mostly due to the fact that these type of movies, like, it's really hard to make this genuine and not force feed this type of humor?
I think this type of humor, although seems immature at times and just kind of all over the place, a little slapstick, like you said, it does take a lot of thought. It's not like a comedy where you can just kind of jive and ad lib all this stuff. Someone actually has to sit there and come up with all these physical props or whatever you need for all these jokes. A lot of the jokes in Naked Gun required all
Extensive
this setup.
planning.
Yeah, so it's extensive planning. It's like you had to film like a whole action sequence just to get a joke in, a joke. Yeah, there was a scene where Leslie Nielsen drives into the dock and there's that guy fishing and they hit him off. I mean, it looked really simple, but there's probably some stupid amount of preparation they had to go through it, right? Like, oh, we gotta make sure this guy doesn't fall in and like slam his head into something, and we have to make sure that the car doesn't get damaged or some other bullshit. There's a lot of fucking physical.
Or like when Norberg is getting like in the
Shot.
beginning when he's like getting like
Dying.
I don't think he got shot, but he got like he puts his hand on like the stove, and then he
Oh,
falls
no,
into
yeah.
the wet
he
paint.
got shot, and then he was like dying, and he was like
Okay.
running into all these things in the wet paint, and then
Right.
the bear trap, and then
And the fucking wedding cake, like what happens if he fucks that up? It's like you have to get a whole another wedding cake for that, and someone had to think about that. It takes a lot of effort for these kind of jokes. I'm not gonna lie.
Make sure the bear trap is like, actually like clamps but doesn't hurt him, and then stays attached to his foot.
Yeah, it's stupid shit like that, and that's why I feel like the first season of Angie Tribeca kind of got that right. Maybe they had all the creative juices unloaded into that one season, and then afterwards they got renewed, and they're like, "Ah, fuck, now what?"
Ah, fuck. I will say that all I'm going to say about that is that Rashida Jones is one piece of ace.
She is.
All right. Any other thoughts on this particular movie, guys, before we go ahead and move over to our movie of the week for next week?
Good job on the choice, David.
Yeah,
you
finally
actually
you
did
picked a
good.
good one. Yeah.
Woo! Finally. All right. That'll be the last episode of Dos Nav Cincos. We done it. All right. If you guys don't have any other thoughts, I'll swing this one over to Ben. Ben, I believe you have honors for the last movie of That's What I Call Cinco's Comedy. What are you picking?
I was thinking about it.
I think
Great.
I know.
Okay, wait.
Hey,
All right.
hold on.
Hang on. I'm gonna text David my prediction.
1 second. I'll wait for it. Well, we're waiting on Ben on Stu's text because I want to see what this prediction is, so that way it doesn't influence Ben at all. If it's an anime, I'm gonna be mad.
All right, I texted it to you.
5 more minutes of this, and I'm going to get mad.
Actually, if that was the episode we were reviewing, I'd be fine with that. Man. All right, go ahead, Ben. I have it.
So, going over all these comedy movies, I did want to choose a comedy that is in a different style than what both you and Stu chose. So I'm not, I wanted to go with Airplane, but after you said Naked Gun, I'm like, well, shit, I want to mix it up a bit. So we're going with Shaun of the Dead. Wait. Wait, we can redo movies, right? Right?
No.
Okay, fine. All right, we're going with my other choice, Hot Fuzz.
Wait.
What?
I think
We've already done that one too. You already picked that one again.
But this one's for a comedy. Okay, fine. We'll do Clerks.
Oh, damn it. I was wrong.
Stu, you were absolutely right. He knew you, and he said Clerks. Stu, what made you think that Ben was going to pick Clerks? Is it because you thought you knew that we had seen?
David, I can't go along with this. I'm so disappointed by Ben's pick.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's wrong with my pick?
In the sense that you didn't pick the movie I predicted.
What was the movie?
I don't know if you should never know now.
What? I want to know. What the fuck?
Stu. You know what? Maybe if you get Stu for Secret Santa, he'll tell you.
No, just fucking tell me now.
So join us next week. We'll be reviewing part of That's What I Call Cinco's Comedy. Additionally, Stu, do you want to just tell him? Because I think Ben. Wait, Ben, is this Two Beer Ben or what?
Ben's gonna have a brain hemorrhage if I don't tell him.
I am. I'm having an aneurysm right now.
I thought you were gonna pick Kung Pao.
Enter the Fist.
Oh.
Or Black Dynamite would have been.
I was already getting psyched up to finally see it again, and now I'm just gonna have to watch it on my own.
Oh man. Oh.
Well, join us next week when Point and Ben yet again for picking Clerks.
I think that's a part of Ben's soul leaving his body.
It's still leaving his body. It's being rejected. His soul's rejecting his
physical form.
Because he. You know, the crazy thing is, how some people always say, dang, I can't follow so-and-so because he did such a good job. This is definitely one of those because you followed up with not Kung Pao. It was The Naked Gun and then Clerks. All right.
It's like a sneeze that doesn't come out at the
end. Clerks.
So it's like a melody that doesn't resolve.
Oh, man. It's like when you're playing tic-tac-toe and you have a cats game. Nobody
I don't know.
wins.
I don't know what that means, but
Oh,
I'll agree
there are
with
no
you.
more moves left.
I'll agree with you.
Got it. All
Shut
right.
up, David. I'm agreeing with you.
All right, great. So join us next week for the third time. I'm going to say this when we review Clerks as part of That's What I Call Cinco's comedy. And you can check us out. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I breathed in the wrong part of that sentence. You can always catch us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, as well as on Twitch. We are playing. Are we playing Tony Hawk this week? Is that for sure?
We'll give it a shot.
All right. So on Tuesday is Ben's day. He'll probably be playing Avengers. So we'll see some glitchy goodness. Stu, any preview for Wednesday?
None.
Still playing Deadwood? Darkwood?
No, I want to take a break from Darkwood because I get the vibe that it's a very long game and I'm barely like
a third in.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Holy shit.
Wait. Based on your feeling from last time about Last of Us, maybe you might be more done than you think.
No, I'm basing this off the screenshots from Markiplier's YouTube videos. Like he's currently playing it and he's like part 13 and like all these little thumbnails. I'm like, oh fuck, that doesn't look familiar. So like I
haven't even gotten that.
I know I'm not anywhere close.
All right, well, tune in on Wednesday. Stu will be playing something different. On Thursday, it may be Tony Hawk. You have to find out. Hit that follow button as well as hit that bell icon so that way you'll know whenever we are streaming. I will be playing on Saturday morning or Sunday morning. You never know. Just keep tuning in. It'll be red alert. Spoiler alert. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it for us here at the Dos Nav Cincos podcast. As always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben, but also a shout out to one of our earliest followers, Joseph Griffin.
Hey,
Stellaris.
Go. Happy birthday. I know I was waiting for the very end.
Happy birthday is public domain, so we can sing that. But.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Joseph
Walsh. Happy birthday to you. All of us here at the Dos Nav Cincos podcast. Guys, wash your hands. Don't forget to your Reiki Masters. Stay safe out there, and we will check you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.
Bye.